Hey you guys, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft, and I finished a swap for Ginger's Corner. That's what you saw on the screen there, for a slice of summer. So I did some ink coloring and stuff like that, and I now need to build some page kits. So I have pulled some old pictures. I was sorting out a bunch of stuff from when I retired, some old NASA pictures. I do have these, but you won't see this page kit today. I saved that for another time because I wanted to focus on these NASA pictures. There's a bunch of them. So I have sped up the whole video 2 times speed, just so you can see the process. It's not too fast, but you don't have to sit through the hour that I spent building these page kits. So here's a couple of pictures from a meeting at Marshall Space Flight Center back in the probably around 2000 or so. And I'm sitting at that table with a good friend of mine, Mike Foreman. He was an astronaut at the time. He's a former astronaut now. Still get to see him occasionally. He lives in the area, and he's actually the mayor of a small town. And then these are pictures from an international training control board meeting back in the day. I think it was in 2000, that took place in Cologne, Germany. And the top picture, I'm rubbing the nose of a good friend, Paolo, who is an Italian astronaut. He was actually, this was before he was selected, but they have these noses that you rub, and so I rubbed his nose too. And then we're drinking Kolsch beer. This was a big, group outing, group dinner event. And there's just a ton of great pictures. So it's going to be a multi-page, I have to say, a multi-page spread, just because there's so many good pictures. I think I'm going to end up doing one just about beer and one with some of the dinner where we're just laughing and having a great time. And then I might do a separate one of Paolo and the rubbing the noses. So I think that's my plan for those. I'm not sure. Ooh, hush, honey. I'm not sure I get to this page kit during this video, but I have a bunch more NASA-related pictures coming up. So my plan is to make some NASA page kits, and I think I get to 5 of them in this video. So I'm just doing some sorting here, trying to figure out what the pages will look like, how many pictures on each page and things like that. So here I'm talking about this Kolsch beer. If you never had it, you can only get it in the Cologne area. You can't even get it in other parts of Germany. They serve it in these 1/4 liter cups, and they bring out 6 or 12 at a time in these trays, and it goes down like water or lemonade. I mean, it's so easy to drink, and I'm not a huge beer drinker. This is from a leadership seminar that I used to participate in for only about 20 years. This is a photo from that meeting in Cologne. And then this is some Russian counterparts that came to Houston for some meetings, and I hosted them at my home. So there's some fun pictures there. These are when I first started working, so probably back in 1990 or 91 for STS 49. I was an on-the-job trainee for the training team, and these are the pictures of the crew and the instructor team. So I want to make some cool pages for that. This picture is from a leadership training course that I took at Simmons College a few years ago. This is when I received an Exceptional Service Medal from NASA. So I'm going to get that documented. And then this is the division that I worked in, and a big picture in the neutral buoyancy laboratory. We tried to do that every year at our Christmas party, take a big picture of the whole division. So there's quite a few photos there. A lot of them are, you know, larger pictures, 8x10s and stuff. And so the page kits can be relatively simple because there's not a ton you can do. So I have pulled some paper. I'm going to pull some more. I like this polka dot. I've got this star paper, a star stencil that I may use on some pages. And then I go off and find a whole bunch more papers. So I have a kit from Close to My Heart that was a space, it's called Stargazer, I think, space-related kit. So I'm going to use some of that paper, try and finish that up. And then I have this paper pack called Luna that I just recently purchased that's got some great papers in it. I'm not sure I get to that paper pack during this video, but I do use it for some in the next video of page kits. Here I pulled some cool super old Creative Memories gray that kind of looks modeled like the surface of the moon, if you will, and just a few other pages that I thought looked a little spacey or fun. So I'm going to start with this one, and I decided that I would use this paper. Since Mike's an astronaut, I think I can justify that. And then I have a little border strip that I'd like to go ahead and try and use. And then I'm just looking at some of the other papers from that same paper kit to see if I want to do that. I didn't want to do double duty on the stripes. There's this red paper. It's just not doing a lot for me. So I think I end up... So I don't mind the yellow, but I didn't want to use up that spacecraft paper too much. So just looking at what I can include, I think I will throw these cut aparts into it. I have 2 sheets of them. So I'm going to include that in the page kit. And I think maybe a piece of white cardstock. I know, I'm looking at this blue polka dot, if that will work. No, it doesn't, because the blues are a little bit different. So you can see why it takes me a while to build page kits. I hem and haw quite a bit. Now, I don't currently have an album from, I started really scrapbooking when I was pregnant, which was 2006. And so I don't have an album from prior, but I do have a whole bunch of old NASA pictures and things like that. So I think at a minimum, I may make a NASA career, I'll probably be 2, I don't know. I've got a lot of pictures. A NASA career album. So I am looking for some blue that will work. This is actually textured blue. I really like it. I've had it for ages. These are just some of the last scraps that I have. So I like that with it, and it looks good with that gray paper. It provides a nice contrast. I'm just looking for some red. The red in his shirt is pretty close to maroon, and so I'm just trying to bridge that gap. And these are some old Creative Memories photo mats. So I think that's good, and I have a piece of white cardstock, and so that is kit number 1. Some of the others go a little faster than this one, because now that I'm more familiar with the papers, and it'll be a little easier for me to pull some stuff out. So I did not include embellishments. I don't have a lot of NASA embellishment, so I'll probably be making some stuff. I'll cut stars out and things like that. So I'm not tackling ephemera or title stickers because I will use title stickers. I have a bin right beside my desk that I use on a rolling cart, and so my plan is to use that. I like this polka dot, and then I see this red one, so I think that I go with the red, and then I like the I really like the border strip that's on there as well. That's got things on it. So I'm going to mat this very large photo in white and then put it on the red and then incorporate that border strip. Then I'm just bringing out if I'm going to make stars or a medal because I got, you know, this award. I think I'll do that. I think I leave all of these things. So I'm just checking out some other blues, and I don't like them as well with that dark blue strip, but I really like that dark blue strip. So I do want to make use of that border strip. So just pulling out some more of that super dark navy, and then I found this little scrap with some stars on it, which work as well. Still checking out blues. There are so many variations in blues, you guys, and sometimes they don't work together when they're different tones or different warmths, if you will. All right, so here we go. We're going to use this diagonal stripe, which I love, and then I'm pulling out a little piece of red that matches the suit that I was wearing, and a white piece of cardstock. So a bunch of scraps, one sheet of designer paper, and one sheet of white. And this kit is done. I think I need to go on my Cricut and see if I can make a NASA meatball and maybe a NASA, oh, I think I add that one too, the little polka dots, just for some interest. Or the NASA worm logo, and see if I can get that and use it on some of these pages for ephemera. So that's another page kit. You guys don't have to put up with my crinkling since I'm voicing over this. All right, welcome to the Neutral Buoyancy Laboratory. It's really not just the NBL staff that's in this picture. It is actually our entire division, and that's where we hold our big Christmas luncheon. Or in my old building, sometimes we alternated years. So I'm liking bringing in some yellow because the jib cranes there in the background and the strip, there's quite a bit of yellow in this building. So it's nice, but I don't want to sacrifice this yellow paper because it's got spaceships on the back of it, and I might need that in the future. And so yellow is a pretty, I say standard, but it's harder than you think to find one that looks the right color with those jib cranes. So I'm just checking the year. So I won't really do a lot. I will just say, not the full name of our division, but DX, and 2000, maybe it was 2010, this picture. So I'm just looking for some yellow. I'll come back when I find the right yellow. All right, so it took me just a couple minutes to find this yellow. It is, I believe it's a solid. I may end up changing this out in the future because I found another yellow that I liked, but I don't mind because this polka dot is not busy, but it would be difficult to find to add another print to that. So I will probably keep this because I'm just using it as a mat, and then I can bring in some other things for embellishments and some other textures and colors and stuff. So I did find this cute little piece of paper in my scrap bin, and I kind of like it's got multicolor circles on it and dots, so that's kind of fun to add a little interest. And then I'm just thinking, and again, need to find some blue. So this brighter blue works pretty well, and I'll be able to do the title out of that and maybe a few other things. So this is a couple of different colors of blue, and I think I pare it down to just do one. Oh, maybe I end up changing. No, I decide that's too busy, I think. Yeah, but I may use that for something else because I like it. It's actually, I think, supposed to be a Disney page, but it's got the blue and the red from NASA, and then we, of course, have a lot of yellow safety equipment, so I kind of like that. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And then I'm just, because I had an idea for what I wanted to do sketch-wise, so I just scribbled that out on a Post-it. So some banners up at the top, and then the photo shifted down a bit, and then the title on top. So it's going to be a very simple page. I'll probably add some more interest to it, more embellishment, but while I was thinking about it, I wanted to go ahead and document that. As I said, when you're doing these large photos, you don't have a lot of room to get crazy. And this is going to have to be on 2 pages. I will likely trim these photos because there's a lot of sky in the picture. But I'm gonna make it work. And I really like this stripe on there. We're wearing black, and there's black in the stripe, and obviously there's blue on the airplanes, and the crew is wearing their blue flight suits, and so it looks really, really good with it. So I can stretch that striped paper across 2 pages. I could maybe cram it onto 1 page, but I think that would be uncomfortably crowded. But who knows? I may end up doing that. I find some yellow that's from the same page kit, so we know it matches. But maybe I decide I don't want to bring out so much yellow in it. The yellow is a little jarring. There's no yellow in the photo. So 2 pages of white cardstock and that red, or that striped. And then once again, I'm gonna need some, I think I bring some, maybe I bring some black in. I see I found this yellow in a kit. That's a lot of really great bright colors and different patterns. So I may end up looking at that one for that NBL picture in the end and adding that because it's not a stripe. So I bring in a piece of black cardstock to matte the photos. I don't like them matted on white at all. I do look at that. It doesn't do anything for the photo. So instead of 2 pieces of white cardstock, I'm going to put it on 2 pieces of black cardstock, I believe. And then I may just cut strips of the stripes to go across top and bottom of the photos. Then just bringing in some scraps to maybe cut a title out of, or punch some ephemera and things like that. So I could do airplanes on here, which would work and be really nice. I could do stars. The type, it's the STS-49 training team. All right, so I went off thinking about if I wanted to add something else and decided not to. I'm just going to leave it at that. Oh, I didn't. I'm going to include that yellow. I don't think I'm going to use that yellow. I don't love it. But we'll see. Here's where I double check that I didn't want white cardstock. So looking at it here, I don't love that yellow with the pictures. So I won't be using it. Just a heads up. Remind me when I get to that page that I'm not going to use it. All right. So this is Russia Meets Texas. My main issue, I need to look up the name of the guy in the cowboy hat. It's been so long, I can't remember his name. I remembered the name of the other 2 guys in the picture at the bottom. But I cannot for the life of me remember. But I have friends who will remember. I really liked this blue, even though it's folded, but I can still use it for cutting letters or something. It's a nice color with that. I pull out a couple of others. This is fun and spacey looking, and so I really like it. And it's the blue is the same color as his shirt, or very similar. So I think that works. And then I found another piece of that same paper, so I have the back side of it. And so that's obviously a match. So lots of blue on here. I'll just have to bring in some white and maybe some other contrast. I can see I have my yellow scraps out. And this paper is Creative Memories, and so I'm pulling some Creative Memories photo mats out that I think might match also. And I probably have a few more of those yellow photo mats in my stash. They used to be able to buy these huge things with, like, I don't know, 100 photo mats in there. You never use them. I did find this super cheap paper. It's what I use for, you know, the back of pages I need to piece together. But the stripes look pretty good with this, so it's a little messed up, but I'll be able to use it for some maybe photo matting and things like that. And I think that is my 5 NASA page kits so far. Some more to come. But that's not bad for an hour's work to come up with 5 fun work-related page kits. So thanks for watching, you guys.